Hey all, and welcome back. And for today's review, I have the KOTOBUKIYA Evoroids EVR-01A. I've been wanting to check these out for a while. They're a model kit of super deformed mecha. Not sure if they're worth a show or anything, but I've seen the designs a little bit. I got mine from Anime Egg Roll here in St. Louis. We can check out the packaging real quick. There's actually a few different ones. They had this one. I think if I was to get another one, I might get that one. This one looked cool, but just to try it out first, I really like the design of this one. And so I thought I'd check it out. But I think that the tank's pretty cool, and these are two kind of beast ones. But yeah, this is all there is to it. It is a little model kit jet that transforms, and on this side we can see that there is like an add-on. I assume this is another set for extra armor and weapons. But anyway, it's a pretty cool illustration. The character's kind of typical, I don't know, early 2000s anime looking, but the mech itself actually looks pretty cool. So anyway, let's get this out of the package and see if it's worthy of our collection. And here you can see the runners. The color is pretty decent and the molding looks pretty good. However, I think this really needs to be panel lined. It also comes with a set of pretty shiny decals here, though I would have liked to have seen some water slide. Now that I've panel lined the kit, I would like to give it a dull coat, but I'm going to pass. Since this is a transforming kit, I want to avoid any areas that might rub. So with it built, let's actually get into a few things. Like, for instance, there is a little manga on the back of the instructions, which it doesn't tell me a whole lot, but it has some nice illustrations on it. Next, I did not finish applying the stickers. And the reason for that being is, as I went along and worked on this kit, I felt like I wanted to make sure that it was panel lined, but I thought I might come back and dull coat it depending on how the transformation goes. But also, seeing how some of the stickers cover, I would rather just paint some of those areas. The one primarily one being is this. This is mostly a really good sticker, but we still have slight gap here. So I could come back with a red little thin brush of pen and paint that. And that might be all it needs, but I'm afraid it's going to peel off over time. And then lastly, on the runners, we have an optional set of extra parts, which are these black hands. I think it was easier for them to run the same runners of parts rather than producing completely different ones to probably reuse in all the other figures. So you do have some optional black hands or darker charcoal hands rather than the light gray ones. But I am happy to have these just because I can use them for customs. Here we have the jet mode, which looks good from one particular angle. Now, the way it's shown in all the illustrations and stuff like that, it actually looks like a pretty good jet mode. But as you start to explore it, it's a little bit flawed. I mean, it's a simple, fun, transforming mini mech, but it is not perfect. And the price shows that. So, you know, it's under $30, might be between $20 and $30, depending on where you get it. I kind of expected a little bit more. Honestly, as far as that goes, but it's fine. Visually, it actually has that super deformed across fill, which I did enjoy, and I do like it. I think it's fine. It's not going to really stay in this mode, but it's fine. As for stickers, I did use the one I showed before, and I really appreciate they included canopy stickers. I do like these. They're not perfect either, but they're good enough, and I feel like if I needed to fill any of the gaps, I could probably come back with some black marker and do that. But we do have an opening canopy. We have a little cockpit inside, though nothing to put inside. But yeah, there is the plane mode. We have landing gear, which I think is pretty cool, and they actually fold up. And then we have our flying mode. We have, they did show in the instructions, yeah, a little spot here. So you can actually put it on a display stand while flying. And like I said, in some angles, it does look pretty good. Like I do like it from head on and maybe 3/4 angle. It's just once you start looking at the rest of it, it's a little bit of a mess. But what is cool is it's not a parts former. It does transform. This inner core allows for some posability. So these feet come down, which it would have been nice if they had molded a piece here that could snap on. And that's actually my biggest complaint about this kit, is I wish they gave us some panels that would go on the bottom here, and they could have put a little slot, and that would have tabbed in. That would have been nice. and also would have made it feel a bit more finished. This just feels unrefined in here. We come down, and these do pop out really easily, but you get this, you fold the pelvis back together, make sure everything's out of the way, and it folds flat, and push your arms back, pop out the rifle, rotate the waist, fold the wings down. And these wings are sort of in the way in bot mode, but they look fine, especially if you do put this on a stand. So there we have the legs. This is a really nice butterfly joint just for posability, but also the fact that it aids in the transformation. So there's the shoulder. Same for this one. This locks down, so you just pop the arm back down. And then we have our little robot, which, you know, it really does look good. It's just, I want to come back, like this little nub mark, I want to clean up and maybe do a little bit more detailing on matte coat. Then I'll apply whatever stickers I decide to use. One thing I did, there's no under sprues except here, undergated. And I appreciate that they did it on this because it's so easy, and even Bandai will make this mistake. They'll put undergating on everything except for clear plastic. And when you have it on the side and you snip it, it'll cause it a small spider webbing and stuff like that. They actually put it underneath. It was easy to cut, and it didn't interfere, and it closes just fine. But yeah, it is a pretty good-looking mech. Like I like the aesthetic. I like the design. The proportions are good, even though it's super deformed, chibi-looking. It looks good. And also, these pop out. They're additional weapons. And we have the gun here. The gun, the normal gun is a little lackluster, and that's largely because of all these recessed areas, but I do like the bayonet that folds out. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, this is just a quick little review of this guy. Pretty easy to build. You know, it's like a 30-minute missions kind of time frame for this kit. Maybe pre-paint some of this area red before applying the sticker, just so you know you're not going to have any gaps that you'll notice. Dull coat, nothing seems to rub, so I think a dull coat would be sufficient. And underneath here, you can actually see the cube frame that I think is the basis of all the designs. So anyway, let us know in the comments below if you think this mech is worthy of your collection. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next time.